we are going to visit the Konark Sun Temple and know its history and various other things. The Konark Sun Temple is a 13th century sun temple at Konark, which is about 35 kilometers northeast from Puri city on the coastline in Puri district of Odisha. The temple is attributed to King Narasimhadeva of the Eastern Ganga dynasty about 1250 CE. Dedicated to the Hindu Sun God Surya, what remains of the temple complex has the appearance of a 100 feet high chariot with immense wheels and horses, all carved from stone. Once over 200 feet high, much of the temple is now in ruins, in particular the large shikara tower over the sanctuary. At one time, this rose much higher than the mandapa that remains. The structures and elements that have survived are famed for their intricate artwork, iconography, and themes, including erotic, kama, and mithuna scenes. Also called the Surya Devalaya, it is a classic illustration of the Odisha style of architecture or Kalinga architecture. The cause of the destruction of the Konark temple is unclear and still remain a source of controversy. Theories range from natural damage to deliberate destruction of the temple in the course of being sacked several times by Muslim armies between the 15th and 17th centuries. This temple was called the Black Pagoda in European sailor accounts as early as 1676 because it looked like a great tire tower which appeared black. Similarly, the Jagannath temple in Puri was called the White Pagoda. Both temples served as important landmarks for sailors in the Bay of Bengal. The temple that exists today was partially destroyed by the conservation efforts of British India era archaeological teams, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. It remains a major pilgrimage site for Hindus, who gather here every year for the Chandrabhaga Mela around the month of February. This Konark Sun Temple is depicted on the reverse side of the Indian currency note of 10 rupees to signify its importance to Indian cultural heritage. The temple is located in a village, now this is an NAC area, about 35 kilometers northeast of Puri and 65 kilometers southeast of Bhubaneswar. The Konark Sun Temple was built in 1250 CE during the reign of the Eastern Ganga King Narasimhadeva from stone in the form of giant ornamented chariot dedicated to the sun god Surya. In Hindu Vedic iconography, Surya is represented as rising the east and traveling rapidly across the sky in a chariot drawn by 7 horses. He is described typically as a resplendent standing person holding a lotus flower in both his hands, riding the chariot marshaled by the charioteer Aruna. The 7 horses are named after the 7 meters of Sanskrit prosody: Gayatri, Brihati, Sri, Jagati, Tristuba, Anustuba, and Pankti. Typically seen flanking Surya are 2 females who represent the down goddesses Usha and Prayusha. The goddesses are shown to be shooting arrows, a symbol of their initiative in the challenging and darkness. The architecture is also symbolic, with the chariot's 12 pairs of wheels corresponding to the 12 months of the Hindu calendar, each month paired into two cycles, Shukla and Krishna. The Konark Temple presents the iconography on a grand scale. It has 24 elaborately carved stone wheels which are nearly 12 feet in diameter and are pulled by a set of 7 horses. When viewed from inland during the dawn and sunrise, the chariot-shaped temple appears to emerge from the depths of the blue sea carrying the sun. The temple plan includes all the traditional elements of a Hindu temple set on a square plan. According to Kapilavastu, the ground plan as well as the layout of sculptures and reliefs follow the square and circle geometry forms found in Odisha temple design texts such as the Shilpa Sarini. This mandala structure informs the plans of other Hindu temples in Odisha and elsewhere. The main temple at Konark, locally called the Devala, no longer exists. It was surrounded by subsidiary shrines containing niches depicting Hindu deities, particularly Surya in many of his aspects. The Devala was built on a high terrace. The temple was originally a complex consisting of the main sanctuary called the Rekha Devala or Bada Devala. In front of it was the Bhadra Devala or Jagamohan. The attached platform was called the Pida Devala, which consisted of square mandapa with a pyramidal roof. All of these structures were square at their core and each consisted of a square mandapa with a pyramidal roof. All of these structures were square at their core and each was overlain with the Pancharatha plan containing a variegated exeter. The central projection called the Raha is more pronounced than the side projection called Kanikapaga, a style that aims for an interplay of sunlight and shade and adds to the visual appeals of the structure throughout the day. The design manual of this style is found in the Shilpa Shastra of ancient Odisha. Twice as wide as they were high, the walls of the Jagamohan are 100 feet tall. The surviving structures has 3 tiers of 6 pidas each. These diminish incrementally and repeat the lower patterns. The pidas are divided into terraces. On each of these terraces stand statues of musician figures. The main temple and the Jagamohan ports consist of 4 main zones: the platform, the wall, the trunk, and the crowning head called the mastaka. The first 3 are square while the mastaka is circular. The main temple and the Jagamohan differed in size, decorative themes, and design. It was the main temple stone called the Gandhi in medieval Hindu architecture texts that was ruined long ago. The sanctum of the main temple is now without a roof and most of the original parts. On the east side of the main temple is the Natha Mandira, which is dance temple. It stands on a high, intricately carved platform. The relief on the platforms is similar in style to that found on the surviving walls of the temple. According to historical texts, there was an Aruna Stamba between the main temple and the Natha Mandira, but it is no longer there because it was moved to the Jagannath at Puri sometime during the troubled history of this temple. According to Harley, the text suggests that originally the complex was enclosed with a wall 865 feet by 540 feet with gateways on three sides. The Sun Temple was made from three types of stone. Chlorite was used to the door, lintel and frames as well as some sculptures. Laterite was used for the core and the platform and staircases near the foundation. Khondalite was used for other parts of the temple. According to Mitra, the Khondalite stone weathers faster over time, and this may have contributed to erosion and accelerated the damage when parts of the temple were destroyed. None of these stones occurred naturally nearby, and the architects and artisans must have procured and moved the stones from distant sources, probably using the rivers and water channels near the site. The masons then created a slab wherein the stones were polished and finished so as to make joints hardly visible. The original temple had a main sanctum sanctorum, which is estimated to have been 229 feet tall. The main Vimana fell in 1837. The main mandapa audience hall, which is about 128 feet tall, still stands and is the principal structure